You can hear the music, Philly?
Yes, sir.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host, Curtis Phillips Jr., a.k.a. Philly Picks, our handicapper here on the show as we take you guys down till 6 o'clock. Soon to be joined by J.R. Anderson as well, our other handicapper here on the show. A lot to discuss, Philly. There's a lot to get into because March Madness is here. We're dancing. We've got the first four matchups tonight to wrapping up. And then we'll have our action underway tomorrow, which will unfortunately take us off the radio, which, I mean, I shouldn't say unfortunately. We'd be off already anyways due to the three-man front being on. But three-man front also off as well due to the Fan Fest rally going down for the Kings at 4th Street Live. If you want to come out, I'll be down there promoting out all of the things that we'll be doing this season with the Kings. But, Philly, thank you so much for joining the show. You've got your Louisville gear on here as well. Mike Rutherford and I just wrapped up chatting about the Cards and what we expect to happen tomorrow in this matchup against South Florida. We're going to be getting into that today here as well. But before we get into the overall betting discussion for the day, Philly, I want to ask you, lifelong diehard Louisville fan yourself, another opportunity here to get over that hump. How are we feeling? What are the vibes like in the Philly Picks household right now, sitting around these Cards tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a nervous feeling. Obviously, got the news today. Michael Brown will be out at least the first couple games. So that's the news we kind of been waiting on to see, how we'll go forward. But honestly, I feel good. USF is a popular dog, which I feel like if everybody was on Louisville, I'd be more worried then. So the fact that everybody's on USF, I think we're gonna come out with a vengeance, a motivation that the world's against us, and I think we come out and win this first game. So we've already played without Michael a number of games this season, so I think this team is gonna come ready to play. And I'm sure you saw the comments about the USF players saying they think they're the better team and whatnot, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I feel more confident that people are on, because I feel like usually when a lot of people are on a dog in the tournament, a lot of times I feel like it goes in the opposite direction. So I'm
in the first round especially.
Oh yeah,
it's different obviously once you get out of the first round because those dogs are actually good teams that have won games at that point. But this is a little different. And this is what we want to get into here today, Philly, to start the show off. Louisville sitting at 4.5-point favorites as it stands right now over South Florida. The over-under at 163.5. So we're minus 205 on the money line. Let's get into this. Let's chat props and team lines here. We see that Ryan Conwell at 20-plus points is at minus 176. I don't really necessarily lean that far. I kind of look more into the Adrian Woolley line at 15-plus for plus 150. I do think that Woolley's going to have a big game here without Michael Brown. And I think that the way that this USF side defends will lead to a lot of open shots for our guards. And ideally, I know we haven't been the best transition team. We don't necessarily utilize our transitions when we get them. Well, in my opinion, I think the decision-making on the fast break's been tentative all year long. It's like we want to let the defenders get back and get into position and then try to exploit from there. And I don't necessarily understand that when we do have some guys with a lot of speed. But that's what this USF side does as well. They've got speed. They like to be intense and physical if they can be. But this is a small team, Philly.
Yeah.
Curtis. I mean, at power forward, they're going 6'5", right? How many matchups has Javon Hadley at the 4 spot had a size advantage in his time at Louisville? None.
Yeah.
Clemson last year, maybe, right? with the Ian Shefflin kid. I think that maybe that matchup was probably a little bit more even, but I feel like Javon handled business in that matchup very well, playing out of position last season. This season, it felt like it's been big power forwards all season long, or guys who can really shoot it and stretch the floor as well, and he's not being able to kind of be that versatile Swiss Army knife defender that we need him to be when he's going up against some of these fours. This is the kind of team that Javon Hadley should be able to exploit. The switchability that we like to do out on the perimeter should be at a high level against a team like this that's looking for those open looks. Stay attached, run your man off the three-point line, and don't foul, right? And then don't let them get on the offensive glass. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in college basketball. They're also one of the worst at giving up offensive rebounds as well. So kind of give them a taste of their own medicine and just do it at a much more aggressive level, and you should have an advantage here in this game, Philly. Now let's look at these lines. We don't bet Louisville. We don't like to bet our teams unless it's a line that we can't pass up, right? And typically in plus money spots, right? I only bet the Lakers when they're the underdog in a matchup that I feel like they can win. Barcelona's a little bit different. We hit the Barcelona money line today. They got the 7-2 victory over Newcastle to advance in the Champions League to the next round. Lakers, Louisville, I try to avoid betting us as much as I can just because I get overly emotionally invested when the money gets put on the line as well, and I don't like having that extra factor if it doesn't go my way. I'm feeling the 4.5 points, though, Curtis. Every single score prediction I've kind of played out in my head in my Romy Bean simulator here for basketball outcomes. The closest I got was actually 5 points, and that was a couple of days ago. I've upped it about 2 or 3 points in the last 2 or 3 days and where I kind of view this game going. I'm laying the 4.5 points.
Okay.
I'm saying it right now. I'm not dropping this as an official punch. This is our Louisville, we're a big gambling show, a betting show, but we're diehard Louisville fans, and we're following the Mike Rutherford show where we'll have a lot of Louisville listeners. So on Louisville game days or days before Louisville plays where we're not going to be on the air, we're going to emphasize the Louisville talk. This is just for the sake of anyone listening. I'm taking the Cards at minus 4.5 tomorrow. Going to be the second time I bet us on a line pretty much all season long pre-game. I have taken a couple live lines just because, we're the favorite and you got us at plus 2.5 or something like that in a game which I do believe we'll win and come back and reestablish that advantage. And we've done it. We've made some money on a couple of live bets for Louisville. We don't really take them pregame very often, and I'm feeling it, Philly. How about you?
I'm with you on that. I'll rock with you on the Louisville minus 4.5 there.
That's going to, be this one punch that we're going to have on the weekend. We're not going to make that an official punch for the show, for our record for the month of March, because it's our team. We don't do that. But I'm personally doing it on the sports book. We're going to get some kind of a boost. I don't like the under 163.5 just because, like we said, this is one of the fastest teams in the nation. I think they have like the 6th fastest pace in college basketball. This USF side does. So there is that. Obviously, there's that chance that this is a 85 plus for both sides kind of a game, and it completely goes way over this over line. Because of that off chance, Philly, I'm going to stay away from this over 163, this over under.
Yeah, same. I'm with you there. It's a high total, but rightfully so. Louisville, one of the best scoring teams in the ACC. Like you said, USF, I watched them a few times this season, and they don't stop. So
we got to text it on the Game Day Men's Health text line. Lazard guy tapping into the show. He's been a avid listener on the Ticket Punchers pretty much since we've aired the show.
Yeah.
Hadley 2+ threes. He's been our most consistent shooter, and they're still giving it to us at plus money. You're stealing my talking points here, Lazard guy. The player prop that I liked most in this game was the Javon Hadley 2+ 3-pointers. And I mean, at plus money, I feel like this is kind of a no-brainer when you're talking about a team in USF that's going to try to run us up and down the floor, and they're going to have a lot of hectic moments and hectic plays that lead to openings. Javon Hadley is the most talented player at finding open space and quite literally just getting open and knowing where to be on the floor in this Louisville team. You can see it in his experience that he has that aspect to his game at a level that no one else really does. And I'm sorry, Philly, at plus 158 for Javon Hadley without Michael Brown in a game that he's probably going to play, 35 plus minutes in?
Must take.
I'm taking it. He's going to shoot at least 5 of them, I think. Probably Maybe 4. I think he gets up 4 attempts minimum, but I think 5 is kind of the right number. I see him going 2 for 5 or 3 for 5 for sure in this game. He's been knocking them down recently, and he's been shooting it without hesitation, which is what we need from Javon. I like that Lazard guy. Texter says here on the Game Day Mentel text line, can you bet PK getting a tech?
I'm sure there's some. Maybe
what's fun? Exactly. I was going to say, Curtis, you can probably find this somewhere.
Yeah, on Kalshi probably.
Yeah, maybe not the most trustworthy book, but there's definitely somewhere out there that you can bet this kind of stuff. They let you bet anything these days.
Oh yeah.
All right, Curtis. We don't. He needs to keep his head cool in a game like this. If Pat Kelsey's getting texts, I mean, it's probably the referees making some questionable calls. But if it has anything to do with something USF's doing to kind of control the energy that's leading to Pat reacting like that, then we're probably not playing the way that we need to be. So let's look into tonight's games. We've got the 16 first floor matchup, Prairie View A&M going up against Lehigh. And then we've got Miami and SMU in the 9:15 slot. SMU sitting at 7.5 as the favorite. Curtis, I think SMU covers. I think there's a chance when you're dealing with a Miami team that plays a really, really good offense and can really move the ball and get up and down the floor like they can. There's obviously you run that risk of this game being close if SMU's not hitting their shots, but SMU is just bigger. Defensively, this should be a game where SMU has the advantage defensively, which they don't have all that often, right?
Right.
No reason for them to not have this, to have that in this one. I kind of view it being close the entirety of the game. They hover around 5 to 8 points leading for most of it, and then right at the end, they kind of solidified that with an 8 to 9 point victory. What do you think in that matchup between Miami of Ohio and SMU at 9:15?
Yeah, I think this game, it'll be similar to the Louisville game. 2 very high-scoring teams. We know Miami of Ohio just ran through the MAC, didn't have a loss into their conference tournament. SMU, I believe, was the highest-scoring team in the ACC. It says B.J. Edwards is a game-time decision for SMU. That's a guy that's been out for the last 4 or 5 games. That's been a huge factor for them all season. If he plays, I do lean SMU to cover, but if he doesn't, we've just seen them struggle all season. Miami of Ohio, they've played close games the entire season. So if he's out, then I do lean Miami of Ohio to cover. So I'm waiting on that information right there. But Miami of Ohio, I mean, I get it. They haven't played a quad 1 team, so that does concern you. But I mean, these guys can score, and when you can score like that, I feel like you can keep it close with a team like SMU that doesn't defend all well, does have a big size advantage. But I think the B.J. Edwards news is the big news to look at there.
I'm with you. Definitely could see Miami keeping that one close. Lazard guy texted in again. He said, if we're smart, we should push him to take more attempts, talking about Javon Hadley's 3-point shooting. Going to play it up to 4+ threes.
Oh.
They're not showing the 4+ on FanDuel. I'm sure they've got it on DraftKings. Javon Hadley sitting at plus 430 on the 3+.
3, yeah.
Adrian Woolley also sitting at plus 400 on the 3+. Curtis, what do we think of that? I mean, Adrian Woolley, I could see him getting up 5 to 6 3 attempts as well. Any chance he hits 3?
I mean, I like the 2+ at around a similar price as Hadley's. I believe it was plus 146 or so.
Yeah.
So I like the 2+. I feel like Woolley's a more take it to the basket type of guy, but I mean, we're going to shoot a lot of threes as well. So I mean, at the price, it's always worth a sprinkle. So
I'd like a sprinkle on the plus 400 for Woolley on 3+ and Javon on 3+. I wouldn't be mad at either of those. I'm going to take the Woolley plus 146. We're going to actually go ahead and drop that as an official punch for tomorrow, Curtis. I don't have any college basketball official punches for tonight, so we can just go ahead and get all of our college punches out first, and then we'll drop our NBA punches for tonight and whatever else we may have in the NHL and other rankings. So nice. I'm going Louisville tomorrow. In the Louisville game, Adrian Woolley plus 146. You want me to just kind of list these out here, Curtis?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'll go Louisville Adrian Woolley on the plus 146 for 2+ 3-pointers. I'm liking that line there. Next line on the Thursday slate that we're going to be looking at is that's great. I had a I only had the third. I had that one written down. I had a Friday game written down here. There was one on Thursday that I was looking into that I wanted to ask you about. Curtis, which one was it here?
Was it?
Yes, VCU and North Carolina at 6:50 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bets coming in on VCU. North Carolina, 2.5-point favorites, and the over/under sitting at 152.5. How capable how do we feel about North Carolina's capabilities in winning a game like this without Caleb Wilson, Curtis?
Yeah.
VCU plays hard.
They do. I don't think North Carolina comes out and wins this game without Caleb Wilson. VCU is one of the 2 upsets I have in the first round. So I've watched this team a few times this year, and I just love the way they play. Deep, experienced team. They have guys that can shoot the ball, defend really well. They've won 16 of their last 17 games. So I just like VCU to get the job done versus this North Carolina team. Has not looked the same. Obviously, you're not going to look the same without your best player. So I think North Carolina kind of limped their way into the tournament, and I think they get bounced first round. So I'm all on the VCU Rams to get it done.
I'm taking it. VCU money line plus 122 straight up as my second official punch in the college rankings for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to share the punch. I'm with you on there, if that's fine with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, Curtis. You're going to share that as an official punch as well?
Yes,
so
sir.
Curtis and I both on VCU money line tomorrow, straight up at the plus 122. Love this plus money spot on a North Carolina side that, Seth Trimble being your best offensive player is just – I don't know if that can get you across the hump and against a team like VCU. I don't think it can. I'm rocking with VCU in this one. Next one, a little bit unorthodox. Don't think there's going to be a lot of people on this, but I'm rocking with it. Give me Howard on the plus 30.5, Curtis. I think Michigan's kind of, viewing themselves as a team that has no reason to let up in the first few games they should have in this NCAA tournament, the way that they looked in that Big Ten championship game. I think Howard's going to come out and surprise them and keep this one close for the entirety of it. And I say close, meaning they don't let it get outside of 15 points much. And they, Michigan gets up by 12. Howard cuts it back to 8, back up to 11, back down to 9. I think it stays in there the entirety of the game in that 10-point range. So give me Howard to cover plus 30.5 over Michigan tomorrow at 7:10 p.m. Those are going to wrap up my 3 punches for tomorrow's NCAA slate. Philly, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I like Nebraska laying I believe it's 12.5 versus Troy. I think Nebraska is sort of a underrated team, a team that could make it to the Sweet 16. People forget this team started, I want to say 20-0. They play a different brand of basketball, kind of slow pace, but just great fundamentals. They're very good offensively, very good defensively. And I think they run away with this game against Troy, the second game of Thursday's slate. So I'll drop that as my second official punch for Nebraska to cover the 12.5. And I like that. I like the Howard play. Michigan's not the same without LJ Kaysen, their best 3-point shooter. So we've seen them not look the same the past few games, really probably about the past month or so. So that's not official punch, but I was just commenting on your Howard play there. So, and then I'll also drop BYU money line at minus 137 going up against Texas, who won on the buzzer, or basically the buzzer last night versus NC State. I think AJ DeBonsta he's going to go crazy. And this Texas team, we was talking about it yesterday, just really not that good of a team. Snuck in the first 4. But I think BYU, even without Richie Saunders, I think they'll have enough to knock off a Texas team. So that'll be my third official punch.
I also just saw this quote, Curtis. I'm sorry to interrupt you here.
No, you're good.
This is a tweet quoted from Jeremy Otto, who does play-by-play for Michigan State Athletics, Detroit Wings, the Pistons, the Tigers. He does a lot of different play-by-play, and looks like he's doing some media stuff with this Michigan side. And quote from Yaxel Lindenberg on his injury that he suffered in the Big Ten championship game against Purdue, which was a sprained ankle. Yaxel, he says, I'm fine. I started moving and running around yesterday. I had a little bit of issues cutting, but today I think I'm going to feel a lot better. When I get into the game mindset, I think I will be all right. I like that plus 30.5 even more if Yaxel's not at 100%, Curtis.
That's what it sounds like. Oh. Yeah, I'm with
I don't think that Howard wins this game by any means, but like you said, missing your best shooter and your best player isn't at he's your best player who's a big dealing with an ankle injury.
Right.
He might not be giving the same production that we're used to seeing from him. What else you got for us, Curtis?
That's it for the Thursday slate.
You want to get into – so we'll have a show Friday, but anything before our showtime Friday, we will still need to get out there. This will be the only showtime we'll have to get that out there. So I know, it's kind of tough to ask you about a Friday dig when we still haven't even completed our Thursday digs at the moment. But I just wanted to see if you had any favorite plays for the Friday slate yet on the college basketball side before we move on.
Yeah, I'll drop one more. Let's see. This is one of my other upset picks. So I'm going to be taking Akron on the money line at plus 260. But for my official punch sake, I'll just take the plus 7.5 at minus 105 versus Texas Tech. I think Akron, a similar team to VCU, one of the mid majors, and nobody's really talked about them. They had one conference loss in the MAC, and it was to Miami of Ohio, the team that finished the season undefeated. So this is a team that only lost 5 games all season. And yeah, just wasn't talked about just because Miami of Ohio was in front of them. But this is a very deep and experienced team as well, going up against the Texas Tech team that is also without their best player in JT Toppin. Texas Tech has honestly looked better than what I expected without Toppin. But also
same here.
Yeah, but also their second best player in Christian Anderson, he got hurt in that Big 12 game. So I don't think he's playing, but I don't think he's going to be 100%. I think this Akron team is going to upset Texas Tech. I'll take the plus 7.5, just in case, though. So
I like it. You are dealing with a little bit more athleticism out with the guys that Texas Tech does have. They got that guard who's just a bucket getter. That he the kind of guy that can be the difference maker in a game like this. But Akron, like you said, they play extremely hard. They beat a couple of teams, not necessarily at this level, but better than them this season. So I see Akron definitely keeping this one close. I've got 2 Friday plays. I've got both our plays on a spread for a team to cover. The first one, Philly, we'll do the earlier one in the day. Friday, 12:15 p.m., Kentucky, minus 3.5 over Santa Clara. I mean, yeah, this is Santa Clara's side that has an offense that can put some numbers up on the board, but when you're dealing with a team that hasn't gone up against opponents like this all season long outside of Gonzaga, you're not going to get that level of play that was typically free from Santa Clara against a side like Kentucky that does have athletes who can defend. Yes, they have their issues. They have their boneheaded mistakes that they will do throughout games. Kentucky still has enough with who is playing for them currently in Oweh and some of those guys to go and get over this 3.5-point spread with Santa Clara. I think they can cover it. I like them to win that one. So I'm on both Louisville and Kentucky to win their first round games and cover their spreads. Second Friday game that I have here, Philly, is the only other Friday slate game that I'm taking. I'm not a believer in Virginia. I'm not. I think they're the worst 3rd seed. The worst 3 seed.
Okay.
That might maybe a hot take there. I believe that. I do with saying that, due to their 2 bigs and the way that those 2 bigs can block shots, I still think Michigan State is technically a better matchup for Louisville in that second round there compared if you were to switch it with a team like Virginia, which they're not going to do, obviously. I still think, though, that Wright State can cover the 17.5 points. Yeah, it's the Wright State side that has shown that defensively at times they can be pretty bad too. I think, though, when you don't have that concrete, just go and get it bucket getter off the dribble in March, it can be tough at times when you're talking about a team like Virginia, right? DeRitter, how much can he do down low from start to finish, even against a team like Wright State? Yes, they have the size advantage with their defensive bigs. I still think Wright State can cover that 18 points. It's just a big number there for a Virginia side that I don't think is going to score a lot. Like the fact that it's a 145.5 over under, You expect it to be semi-low scoring and for them to blow them out? I just don't see that. That's going to wrap up my Friday slate plays here, Curtis, for college basketball. Do you have any NHL to give out before we look into the NBA tonight?
I don't. But before we get to the NBA, I think we should let the listeners know what we have for our Final Four picks before we start the tournament. Do you have yours yet?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I'm ready.
Okay. Drop yours and then I'll follow you after.
All right. So in the bracket I made, where I truly have my gut instinct on all of these plays, and what I truly believe happens in my Final Four, I have Duke, Houston on the East-South side, and on the West-Midwest side, I have Arkansas and Michigan, with Michigan eclipsing Arkansas and Duke losing to Houston. I'm not going to give out who I have in the Houston-Michigan final. We can save that for another time. We'll have plenty of time to get into that, but I do have Houston and I do have Michigan in the championship game. Who you got, Curtis?
Okay, interesting. Okay, I have in the East and South, I have Duke and I have Florida. On the opposite side, I have Arizona, and this one's for you. I got Virginia going to the final.
No.
I do.
No, Curtis.
Do. Yes, I think they're in a hard region, but I think the teams in that region are fraudulent, so to speak. So, and then for my championship game, I have Arizona going versus Duke, and yeah, like you said, we'll get into that closer to time. So,
I'm not mad at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Virginia that early after their coaching turnaround have that much success. Making it to a Final Four in year one under Ryan Odom would be crazy, and would probably push him above the overall rankings in the ACC coaching hierarchy, which, Pat Kelsey loses to Michigan State or even to the CUSF side. He can't even argue it, but it'd be a tough look for the overall state of Pat Kelsey and coaches in the ACC. I wouldn't be mad for an ACC team to make it that far. I would want that to happen. If have Duke and Virginia would be cool. That's a hot one there, Curtis. Yeah, I'm not mad at it though. I think I don't like that I don't have a semi-hot one in the Final Four. Arkansas, I feel like they're getting a lot of love. It's having a 4 seed in the Final Four is kind of crazy, but with the amount of love I've been seeing from Arkansas, I'm not really surprised at how many Final Four picks I've been seeing out of them. And then now people are kind of starting to trend the other way, like, no way Arkansas is going to go this far. Too many people have them going this far, right? And not believing in them just for the sake of what other people have on their picks, which that's what happens in with brackets. But I like our picks. Can't wait to follow these teams and see how they do and see how correct we are. We got a couple more texts on the Game Day Men's Health text line. We've got to be quick here. Lazard Guy says, hell yes, VCU has been one of my favorite teams all year. They're beating UNC. And I like the Woolley play too. He says he bets all of his 3-point props on Bet365. So that's how he gets those larger numbers. Probably gets better odds too, I'd imagine as well. We got one more text in. Game Day Men's Health text line's been active here today on the Ticket Puncher Show, Curtis. This was a six pick parlay. He's got Louisville -4.5, McNeely 12+ points, Woolley 15+ points, Conwell 20+ points, Hadley 20+ points, and Hadley 2+ 3-pointers. $20 pays $920 on the plus 4,500 there on this parlay. I think we need him to be in the scoring department well over 12, 13 points. He needs to be over that mark. I won't be surprised if we get like a 16, 17, or 18-point Javon Hadley performance. So that one's the one I think you may have a little bit of sweat action on. I love all the other plays, though, and I love the overall parlay for the sake of a Cards fan.
I love it too. I feel like that's hit 1 or 2 times this season, maybe. May have lost Roman there.
Join the stream back up here on the visual side of things. But Curtis, we've got to wrap up there to the end of the show on our radio side of things. Let's look into the night of NBA, or just the Friday night Wednesday night of punches here outside of college. What'd you take for tonight, if there was anything you liked?
Yeah, I'm only on one thing, NBA. I'll drop the 11.5 with the Celtics going up against the Warriors, who are pretty banged up. They're playing their 3rd game in the last 4 days. Celtics have been playing much better. Well, I can't say much better because they was already playing good, but they're playing even better with Jason Tatum. So I think they handle the Warriors tonight on ESPN. So that will be my only official punch tonight for the NBA.
I've got two officials for tonight in the NBA. I'm on the Clippers Pelicans under 236.5. I mean, this Pelican side at home, they've been better defensively when they've got their majority at full health. You know, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, DeJounte, Sadiq, and Zion. They've been pretty good defensively. I think I'm not going to say they've turned some page. They're a bottom team, but I do think they can keep the numbers pretty low in this one with Kawhi playing on the Clippers side of things defensively. You know that they're going to be playing up to their best. So that's why you see this line being kind of even here on the pick'em side, but I'm taking the under 236 if this one is projected to be a super close game. I think this one ends in that 107 to 110 kind of range. Semi-low scoring game there in that one. And on the second play I've got, Philly, I mean, it's tough to look at the Lakers on the road spot going up against the Houston side here, but I don't see them letting up. I think LeBron. I think LeBron and these guys have their way, and in return, I'm going to take a LeBron James prop here on the 20+ points at +138. That's going to wrap us up on our official punches. No J.R. Anderson with us today, so no triple punch parlay presented by Chad Hennessy and SureMax, but those plays are all presented by Chad Hennessy and SureMax. So go ahead and get those official punches out there and tail us if you want, fade us if you don't like them. And Philly, without further ado, let's go punch those tickets.
Let's punch those tickets. Go Cards.
Go Cards. Got Daryl Turner in the chat here on YouTube saying, let's go. Right at the start of the show. Daryl Turner chatting in with us every day on the YouTube. Appreciate you, Daryl.
Oh, Daryl.
And yeah, let's get it. We gave all of our plays out. Nothing out there that I wanted to give. We're going to get some Saturday punches. Obviously, we'll get those tweeted. Maybe even see if we can get a little Saturday, quick little 10-minute pick show just for our picks for the day, something small like that. But Curtis, I mean, I don't think there's really much we need to stay on for without JR. We could do the whole slate of games, but I like doing that with JR more so.
Yeah.
So I think we can wrap things up here and get ready for our first round endeavor with these cards.
Yeah. Why did they always have us, it seems like, on the early games? Last year, the first game of the tournament.
I don't know why they keep doing that to us, but it's better than being the first day. I mean, the very, very first slot.
Game.
Yeah. At least we've got
last year. Yeah.
Some time in the day to get our nerves built up, right?
For sure. For sure. Oof. Yeah. Well, let's see how we do, man.
I'm excited. I think these guys can get the job done. I think they have everything it takes.
Yeah.
We did get the podcast recorded today, thankfully. So we'll have that out for you guys as well if you didn't catch the picks in time. But shout out to the viewers we had on the YouTube chat. More today than normal. More people in the chat or on the Game Day Mentel text line than normal as well. Shout out to Lazard guy and to the guys also chiming in on the show, or ladies. And to the few of you here on the YouTube, appreciate you guys. Don't know how many are on the X. Didn't get a number. I didn't retweet that, Curtis, so I can't imagine that number is extremely, extremely high. But let's go see what we've got here. Yeah, just a couple then, so no issues there. But appreciate you guys. Let's go punch those tickets, Curtis.
Let's go punch